If Ren and Stimpy decided to make an RTS, it might turn out a lot like D.O.T Defense. With a weird art style and some interesting tower defense mechanics snuck in, this game seemed like my kind of strange. Are their design choices defensible? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. Note, I try to review with integrity, and the developers reached out and asked for a snarky review. They're gonna get one, but it will be honest. While I've said over and over that I don't particularly care for RTS, this time we let one slip in, and I decided to review D.O.T Defense by Rattle Axe Games. I put just over an hour into this title. Now, I have to give the developers credit. They came to me asking for snarky commentary after having watched one of my other reviews, which shows me that they at least took the time to understand my style. So how could I have turned them down? And then I looked at this game and I said to myself, Self, this is your kind of weird. You should take a look at this. And so, here we are, looking at this, and this is a kind of mashup of tower defense and RTS with a quite, shall we say, polarizing art style. So, anyway, the RTS bits. Your bases and factories will spit out units in a steady stream, and they will automatically head for the objective, but you can do some limited directing of them by drawing a path. The one thing that I struggled with on this particular pathing mechanic was that it seemed like units only followed the path once they sort of touched the path, and other units might sit around and just doing nothing if they weren't near the path. So that was a bit weird and maybe needs some adjustment. The objective typically was for your units to try to capture enemy territory. Once you were in control of a territory, you could build things. Those things were where some of the tower defense-like aspects of the game came in, and unsurprisingly, you could build towers. Duh. On top of that, or I should probably say under the towers, you might have various bonus tiles that would impact what the building did. More defense, more attack, longer range, and so on and so forth. You know the kind of things we're talking about. Unlike most RTS, you're not dealing with resource management for the most part in D.O.T Defense, and that's actually one of the things I really liked about the game. Each territory, depending on its size, has a particular amount of supply, and each tower you build consumes supply. Supply is also not instant. You have a little truck that travels from your HQ to your territories in most cases and refills that supply. This is actually a rather sophisticated mechanic when you think about it, because much like in real war, the further you are from supply, the longer it takes to get it, which can have an impact. And that ties into yet another mechanic that I found interesting, which was the ability to essentially build, destroy, and rebuild towers wherever and whenever you like, within the limits of that supply system. So, to tie everything together, you might capture a territory and be able to build one measly tower, and then have to wait for supply to fill up to build more towers. Then, as battle conditions change, you might want to destroy a gun tower and swap it for a cannon tower, or even for a factory to pump out more units. This actually makes the decision space much more active compared to a typical RTS. As you play through the campaign, you encounter new building types which get unlocked for you to use in your skirmish plays. As you might expect, and given that this is an RTS at heart, skirmish feels exactly like it should. There are several different maps, and you can set up different opponents, and you have a few special powers to choose from. Set up your scenario, and off you go. Hey, before I give my final verdict, if this is your first episode, this one's free. But if you've watched me before, we're going to make an agreement. You help me level up by clicking subscribe, and I'll keep making these videos. I'll spend the time playing the games and making content that I hope you'll like, and you'll return the favor, okay? Leave comments, tell me what you think, it's all good. You just agree to engage. That's all I ask. The final verdict. While this game is hard to make sense of at first, and while it looks and seems a little extreme, it somehow manages to take the worst parts of RTS for me, the endless, mindless clicking, and gets rid of them in a way that still manages to keep the plotting and the building fun. Everything about it is a little weird, but you know what? Weird is good. On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meth, and I forgot to eat. I'm not sure how, with all of this supply being trucked around, nobody stopped to think about food. But in spite of the glaring omission of sustenance for your weary warriors, this game actually just squeaks out a recommendation, even in spite of being one of my least favorite genres of games. But after the battle was hard fought, and the territory was won, I still was left hankering for a little something. Since bath bombs are inedible, I had to make do with whatever other flavor bombs I had available. Because, you know, bombing runs are an important part of a balanced RTS meal or something.